Many, many years ago, a friend of mine sent me the book, The Secret, and then sent me later or it wasn't the book, it was a DVD, the DVD of The Secret. And then later they made the book from it. But when I got that DVD about The Secret, it was all about manifesting, right? And the ideas in it and the way that it was presented is not at all how you manifest stuff, right? It's just not. Whether you want to, whatever it is that you want to manifest in your life, the feeling is the secret, right? Because whatever it is that you want in your life, a red bicycle, right? You don't want that red bicycle because you want a red bicycle. There's a feeling that goes behind the red bicycle. And whatever that feeling is, I want good transport. I want my neighbors to think I'm rich enough to buy a red bicycle. Whatever that feeling is behind the red bicycle, that's the feeling that you have to inhabit in order to manifest something, right?
So you mean, sorry, you mean the ideas from the book was wrong, or he got the idea?
I mean, it's a surface level right, but in just practice, if you want to be as efficient as possible, because we all want to manifest something as fast as we can get it, right? We want it as fast as we can get it, and so we have to live in the feeling. I told Darin the other day, I think it was Darin I was talking to. It's the feeling of It's the feeling of you've been handling some situation and it's just holding you under a whole bunch of stress, and it's been days or weeks or whatever you've been under this situation, and then all of a sudden a resolution comes. And when the resolution comes, there's this feeling of relief, right? That feeling of relief, that's a great feeling.
That deep breath that everyone takes.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
And everybody experiences that when they receive something that they've wanted for a while. They receive that. Okay, I got it. Right? It's the same feeling. It's that same feeling. And so if you're wanting things, all you're doing with the wanting is attracting more wanting. You're just telling your system, I want to continue to want. And so the way that you manifest it, in my experience, is you put yourself absolutely in the feeling of having it as much as you can, right? Give yourself goosebumps. Make yourself feel like you've already got the thing that you desire.
And that's the hard part that I think people are struggling with the feeling, right? Because you have the idea, I want to manifest this thing, right? And then they have the idea or the feeling just for a couple seconds, right? And they go back to the stage of mind that, I don't have it, right? I don't have it. And then the feeling come back that, oh shit, I don't have it, right? But if you
and the subconscious is leading them to more feelings of I don't have it. It's leading them away from what it is of what they want, because the I don't have it feeling just pushes it away. I mean, the best thing to do is to have gratitude like you already have it. What is the abiding gratitude you're going to have on a daily basis, right? What's the ongoing gratitude? Like when I was evangelical, we always prayed over our food, right? So we'd clasp our hands and we'd bow our head, and we'd even do it in public. Right. But I prayed a whole bunch of times and I was never grateful. I was just getting through the prayer because I was hungry. Right. Yeah. There was no real gratitude there. Now I practice a moment of gratitude before I eat. Right. I just search for a minute and remember a time when I didn't have what I have now. Right. To create a little gratitude and make sure that it's there before I start eating. Then if you want some further practice, you can try gratitude bite by bite and see how long you can hold on to that.
Savoring your food. That's another thing.
See if you can be grateful bite by bite through an entire meal.
Oh,
Yeah, that one's pretty difficult.
Oh.
That's an advanced step.
Yeah, well, if you have a monkey mind and you're not doing anything to calm it down, well,
John, I
you got to
think you
give it.
told me who was there was a guru that used to say something along the lines of take 100 when you stick a spoonful of food in your mouth, you have to chew it. How many times was it? 100 times or something like that before you got it down? They would count. Was it you that told me that?
I don't. I mean, I recall something like that, but I don't remember telling you the story.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, that's exactly what it is. Is can you control thought by thought, or you're going to be lost in your thoughts just a moment from now? I mean, as long as you're listening to the sound of my voice, well, you can just continue into the sound of my voice. But your mind, right? We stop for a minute, your mind will start to wander. It'll jump to some subject. It tries to make a connection. Right. And can you stop it and hold it in the present? The you that's not your mind, can you stop your mind, hold it in the present? Anthony Ferguson, what do you have for us today?
No, I'm still have some question in regard to what you said, manifestation. So do you recommend that we should go through before starting to visualize what we want, to like meditate to calm down our minds or mind? Or you recommend that you just if you could have a moment where you just think over and over and have the feeling, or no, literally
if we're really being honest, right? Can most people concentrate for 1 minute? Can they take 10 deep breaths and count to 10? They take 10 deep breaths and count to 10, right? I mean, just anything you can do to put yourself into that moment, but you have to stop and get away from electronics and try to get away from distraction in some way, right?
Right.
I mean,
I think
all the answers are in you. You just have to be able to listen to them. Go ahead, Darin.
I think the better question is, because you could say, hey, put down your phone, take 10 deep breaths. Well, they'll put down their phone, they'll take 10 deep breaths, and then they'll just be right back to where they were. But if you put someone in a stressful situation where whatever it may be, and then say, all right, now take those 10 deep breaths. That's the real struggle. That's really where you catch them off guard, and they're like, hey, they get the breath number 5, and they go, I can't do it.
Right.
Well, most people are not getting what they want, Anthony. That's why it's so popular. People telling people how to get what they want, right? There's so many different versions of how to get what you want, and most people don't get what they want. They don't get what they want in material things. They don't get what they want in relationships. Right? They feel very unfulfilled, and that negative energy then helps the people around them feel unfulfilled.
Right.
All right. Let's go. Go ahead. Your turn.
Peace. Oh, okay. So is peace something we find or something we create?
We're talking about personal peace, right?
Yes, sir.
It's completely a state, just like happiness. It's completely something you create or you don't.
Wow.
Because you can think of so many instances of people being in horrible situations and being completely at peace.
Right.
But let me say this. In order to have that kind of peace, you have to have something greater than peace. And most people think that peace is the greatest state that there is. If I'm completely at peace, that's the greatest state, and it's not. The greatest virtue you can have, the greatest state, is clarity. Because anytime anything negative happens to you, the first thing you say to yourself is, why? Isn't it?
Right. Definitely right.
Anytime anything negative, the first thing you start saying is, why?
Why me?
And if you have, why me? Why did this happen to me? Why? And the truth is if you have clarity and you say, the reason this occurred is because you drew it into your life, you created the situation, you manifested, because all reality is a reflection of your thoughts in the past.
Oh.
Right? If you have clarity, there's no why. And if there's no why, there's probably peace.
I agree.
Yeah.
Right. So.
All right, you're letting dead space run, Anthony Ferguson. Let's go. We got to move. We gotta move. We gotta move. We gotta move. No
Hey,
premising. No
you
premising.
can,
Okay, go. I'm making you think. I
okay,
know. I'm
let me
taking
ask
you out
you.
of the present. We're
Yeah,
having a podcast, and you have to stay present. I know. I'm making you think. Take you out
right,
of the present. We've had that happen many times. Stay present.
right.
Next question.
So what did your parents' house smell like when you were happy?
It smelled like
That I've
Cajun
always,
food. It smelled like.
like
It smelled
Cajun,
like. It smelled like Cajun food. Cajun
Cajun
food.
food.
You don't know the word Cajun. You don't know the word Cajun after all this time of knowing me.
What's
The people
Cajun?
from Southwest Louisiana, those people of
Ah,
French descent are called Cajuns, and they have a Cajun cuisine.
oh,
And
oh,
that Cajun cuisine usually involves seafood, and it's delicious, like gumbo. Or when you ask me what my parents' house smelled like, that man, I
yeah,
went right to it. Crawfish étouffée. Crawfish étouffée. Now, crawfish, Anthony, those are langostinas, right?
right,
Chiquititos, right?
right,
Langostinas.
right,
And so you just eat the tail, solo la cola, right? They
right,
take the tails and take them out. And so they clean them all just to get the tails out. And they cook that into kind of like a paste that goes over a top of rice, right? It's called crawfish étouffée.
right,
And so that along with my mother's potato salad was kind of the pinnacle of the food we enjoyed in the house. So that smell, right? The combination of those two things being cooked together. And then she would make a banana pudding, and the banana pudding would be about that thick. And then on top of it, she would put a type of icing that's really light called meringue that was about 4 inches thick. Seriously. And that was her banana pudding. That was famous. That was famous all over town. No one could make it like she could make it. And it was delicious. But I can remember where you said, "What do you smell?" That's what I remember.
So if you could freeze one moment of pure happiness from your life, which one would it be? Pure happiness. That moment. Come on. I want to know which is that exactly moment that you literally freeze.
The moment I let go of my fear, of death, it was like stepping over into a whole different reality. The moment I just thought, I'm just not afraid of dying anymore, right? And I think part of that was the fact that since I was a child, I had been told if I don't do what the old grandpa in the sky tells me to do, he's going to send me to this horrible place, right? And I think
Right.
I have a friend on Facebook that always says that's child abuse. And so I don't want to get into that, but for me, there was a lot of fear that went along with that, for a lot of my life. And when that went away, it was just like, wow, that was just a moment of pure, wow. It doesn't
Bliss.
matter if it doesn't matter if it's tomorrow or if it's however many years from now. I'm okay with what's going to happen on this side, because if I die and I just black out, well, I won't know it, right? But if the whole time I think that all those near-death experiences are true, and I'm going to step from this life over into a life where everything is pure love and happiness, well, that's a pretty happy way to go through life, right? So I feel like I win either way. Darin, it's your turn. What are we talking
My
about
turn.
this morning?
Well, I wanted to talk about graphic design. Excuse me. Because I know, John, you have a ton of experience in the graphic design world, and you've created some very impressive designs throughout your entire life. What did it actually take to produce the graphics that you used to make versus now that we have the AI capabilities of being able to design whatever we want in 15, 20 minutes?
I was so much on planes. I was just on planes all the time years ago, right? Before I moved to Costa Rica, I was, years, it felt like, in the air. And so while other people were watching movies, I thought, I'm just going to do something, I'm going to, in addition to reading, I decided to teach myself graphic art because I was around so much product development and I had to talk about it anyway. And I was always talking to graphic artists about, no, that's not right. That's not center. No, put this over here, put this over here. And I just wanted to learn to do that myself. And so I did. I think that there's a lot of debate that's going to go on between people who look at something that's been created by an AI and they automatically don't like it because they know it was created by a machine, right? To the way that we prefer looking at something that was created by a human.
So you think there's going to be a separation in that? Because the way I see it right now is, obviously there's people that are going to lose their job from it because just for a brief example, I'm sure Anthony might be doing something similar to this as well. And I know we're doing something similar in our businesses. If we want something that's quick, ready, done as fast as possible, you can just give it a quick prompt and it'll throw out something that we call decent, when obviously something from your eye, you might say, well, this I wish was over here or something like that, but you have a keen eye for it. So,
yeah, but really, I'm not complaining about the AI art because of its form or content. It's gotten dramatically better with stuff with words in it. Because like in the beginning, all the words, anything you did with words, it would mess them up, right? You couldn't even get spell words right or whatever. And now it's gotten very, very good about that. And so you're going down through whatever social media, but in your mind, you're looking at an ad and you're saying, that's AI created, that's not, that's AI created, that's not, that's AI created. Aren't you? Isn't that the way you're scrolling? You're scrolling through there, you're looking at a photograph and thinking, there's a lot of weird photographs. You look at them and think, is that AI? Is that AI? Is that AI? Aren't you doing that?
Yeah, yes. But it's now gotten to the point to where I now even question myself, like, is that really AI? Like you have whatever it might be, president saying something, I don't know, this I don't know, whatever example. I think that's the best one is, they put a photo of they can deep fake the president saying something or whoever's saying something, a celebrity, and throw it out there. And then you look at it and you're like, I can't tell if it's real or not.
Yeah, well, that's true. But depending upon what they say, you see that video on Instagram, you just go over to CNN and Fox News and you check everything else. And if the same thing is not there, well, it's not real. Right.
Right.
So while I agree that could fool certain people under certain circumstances, anybody that has even half a brain looks at multiple websites is going to say, well, what else is people saying about this? And if it's not being said everywhere, right? If you've not fooled enough people at one time, well, it wouldn't have that the deep fake wouldn't have that kind of effect. But the point I was getting at about the whether you're filtering it between AI and human created is, I think that most people now are biased against AI created things, right? And so, we're creating a thumbnail for this podcast that's taken a few minutes that if a graphic artist had to create that, it would be hours, right? And so what I'm willing to accept based upon the amount of time that it takes, well, is different. But I think that a lot of people are discriminating against AI when they see it.
Could very well be.
No matter what it's being used for.
What do you think are the best tools out there to create these graphic designs? Well,
the thing about the AIs is that each one of them keeps making different advances, right? Like you're going on and on before the podcast this morning about Claude code, and I don't need that at all. Right? I'm interested in, graphic design kind of things. Usually what I'm using it for is to clean up somebody else's bad graphic on a deal, right? So somebody's taking a bad photograph of a package or whatever, and I'm saying, okay, take this package and, put it back on a white background. So that's my specific use. And things related to, things I study like philosophy or history or metaphysics or whatever, right? But they each advance differently. Right now in that battle to create a graphic with text on the top of it, ChatGPT seems to be the winner. So, but if I want to talk about philosophy, I think I'd rather talk to Claude.
Right.
And I got tired of Grok. I just like, okay, I've had enough Grok. I'll come back and visit Grok a year from now, right?
I'm getting the same way about Gemini right now. Gemini's getting slowly getting off of it, moving back to ChatGPT, which I was using prior, and
right. Okay, but you've seen what I'm talking about in the way that the different platforms change, and I mean, ChatGPT has dramatically changed in its personality since I started using it, however long ago it's been. Anyway, we're at the 21-minute mark, and it's about time to talk about deals. You got anything else, guys? Wrap it up and fill the space here while we put some deals on the screen.
No, I'm going to put up the banner so that you guys can see our contact information. If you guys are liking this video, like and comment. Tell us what you're really thinking.
There you go. You can grab that one off the top.
Right.
So what we're looking at here is about $350,000 in office furniture. It's all brand new in Kansas City, and it's an insurance claim. And it's an insurance claim because the sprinklers went off. So here you can see all the boxes are clean. You see just a little bit right in there. See those little black dots?
Yeah.
So it just sprayed water across the tops of the boxes. But because of that, they rejected the whole shipment. And in the video, we can see them opening stuff. We have actually multiple videos, but we can see them opening the stuff and pulling it out and showing it to you. And it's all wrapped in plastic inside the boxes. So the water really didn't damage the boxes. It just lightly just touched them, boosh, put some little black marks on the top, and then they rejected the whole shipment.
So what exactly are we looking at? We're looking at office chairs, and what was that?
It's office chairs, what they call case goods. It's office chairs, and it's some desks and other furniture. We have a complete manifest, about $350,000 at retail, and the asking price is $90,000, but they're extremely open to an offer, and they're going to have to take one. So anyway, reach out to us. Our contact information is at the bottom about this deal. Office furniture with slight water driplets that have gone onto the tops of some of the boxes. So for our second deal today,
are they open for an inspection?
Yeah, on the office furniture, no problem with the inspection. Our second deal today is these Harry Potter interactive wands. We have about 500 pieces of them. They're $15 a piece. They come in 3 different colors. They were made exclusively for Universal Studios. $85 retail. We're asking $15 for them. Let's show you real quick.
You ever been in the Harry Potter section in Universal Studios, John?
I don't remember, Darin. It's been so long because my kids were little when I was there, and I don't remember that.
It's the only place I didn't get to go. We were so exhausted by the time we got there. So everyone's just like, yeah, we can't do it. But I wanted to go.
So here I'm going to show a few photos of these wands, a few actual photos. And they're in the original gift boxes. Just 3 different colors.
Yeah, I did some research on these yesterday, and they're interactive. And so if you say the spell right, it'll have some sort of vibration, and the light would illuminate at the top of the wand. Very neat.
I was wondering what the interactive part of it was.
So Bluetooth to your phone, I believe it to where it gives you a list of bunch of spells and how you can practice saying them.
So we'll make if you send us an email, we'll be happy to send you all these photographs so you can see the 3 different colors, the UPC codes, everything for these wands, or the office furniture. Please let us know. I'm John Clark, along with my hosts, Anthony Ferguson and Darin Fingleton. We are the Crew of Proven Performer. We handle big inventory problems. We would love to hear from you. Want to buy some inventory? Want to sell some inventory? Please reach out. Thanks so much for watching today, and we'll see you tomorrow.
It's been fun. Ciao.